let me bring in Mr. Jindal. Mr. Jindal, the Congress, bring in Mr. Jindal. Mr. Jindal, the Congress is being accused, its allies, like the National Conference, accused of affecting a major cover-up, which now is becoming impossible for you to continue with because the truth has leavened really to the surface.
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. And first of all, Dr. Ranganathan, I wish all your words were the epilogue to the movie. It would have made the movie much more interesting, because this Kashmir Files, which is a featured movie, is being made into a documentary. Let me tell you, it is just another means of propaganda, promoting hatred, ethnic nationalism, communalism. It's just distorting facts and exaggerations. I mean, the lust for power, just to distort the idea of India, is being witnessed via this particular movie, a movie which was supposed to be released on 26th of January, finds its way in March. Now, let me talk about the chronology. Now, when you are talking about the Kashmir violence that occurred, it was in response to the Ram Janmabhoomi Nyas that was formed on 18th of December 1985. Following this, the first major form of violence occurred. That was in 1986, that are known as the Anantnag riots. And this was the precursor to formation of MUF and the subsequent elections that occurred. That led to insurgency in 1988. And when you're talking about the first Kashmiri death that occurred in 1989, let me tell you the exact date. It was 14th of September 1989. Tika Lal Taplu was the one who was assassinated. And subsequently, when we are talking about kidnapping of Rubaiya Sayyid, so let me tell you, it was VP Singh government that was in power, not the Rajiv Gandhi government. And then what we saw in 1990, that is 19th of January 1990, the moment Jagmohan becomes the governor, that very day is being celebrated as the Exodus Day. And look at the coincidence that just on 10th of September 1990, the moment of SPA is imposed in Jammu and Kashmir. Just after 2 weeks, we are having a Rath Yatra for the Ram Janmabhoomi in Ayodhya. Now we are talking about all these two issues, they are intertwined. So the idea is somehow to create a ground for an alternate idea of India, and thereby denying all forms of civil and political rights to the Kashmiri Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus. I would again state over here that the state, it simply used Kashmiri Hindus so as to attain their political objective.
Okay, now Mr. Jindal, look what this congressman is doing here. Look what this congressman is doing, and I'm just going to say a few words and I'm going to open this up. This Congress leader has, first of all, viewers, given a complete clean chit to Pakistan. It's not as if the Pakistanis have any interest in Kashmir. It's only the RSS that has interest, according to Mr. Jindal. As he traces the entire movement back to the Ram Janmabhoomi agitation. He has trivialized a Holocaust, which is a crime in itself. Are we saying that these people were not butchered, that they left home because they were participating in some grand propaganda to reduce themselves to victimhood so that it would suit the RSS? What nonsense. Legitimizing separatism and blaming Hindus for their own.
No, I'm simply putting the right
No, Mr. Jindal. No, Mr. Jindal. You are tonight. I'm sorry to say. Look, I don't want to. Look, I don't want to.
I have never.
Mr. Jindal, your entire diatribe this evening is a pathetic attempt to insulate two families from the blowback. Dr.